Hi there, viewers. Welcome back to the channel. Anime Insights. Today we will be recapping Baki Hanma vs. Kengan Ashura. Let's dive in. Baki vs. Kengan Ashura. One fine morning, two insanely powerful fighters are out on a jog when their paths cross unexpectedly. Even though the two of them don't know each other, for a brief moment their eyes meet and the entire world starts shaking. Ohma, one of the fighters, stops and stares intensely at Baki, the young fighter, but he is interrupted by Kazuo, a small, nervous man who works for the Kengan Association. Kazuo is absolutely terrified of the ground shaking, but Ohma only stands still as he watches Baki disappear. This is the start of the epic battle between fighters who are destined for greatness and have spent their entire lives trying to get stronger. The Underground Arena, an elite and exclusive organization that has been operating for centuries, and the Kengan Association, where strong fighters take control of the business world, have decided to arrange an exciting competition in which some of the best and strongest fighters will compete with each other to determine who is the supreme fighter. Ohma, along with his associates Kazuo and Kaide, head over to the Tokyo Dome, where they enter a secret underground area. As the representatives of the Kengan Association, Ohma is bound to enter the arena and fight for the title. The arena is buzzing with excitement as fighters from the Underground Arena and the Kengan Association gather for the thrilling matches ahead. There is also tension in the air, as a lot of fighters are brimming with pride and arrogance, and look down on those they deem to be weak. This isn't the first time that such an event is being held. A long time ago, a similar fight took place within the Kengan Association, and a fighter named Orochi went against a top contender. Orochi represented the Underground Arena, and while it is not known who exactly won the fight, it is implied that Orochi had to spend 6 months recovering. The fighters slowly start to gather around the arena. On one side sit the fighters from the Underground Arena, and facing them from the other side are the fighters from the Kengan Association. Everyone is brimming with anticipation. The fights will be nothing less than a bloodbath. Mitsunari Tokugawa, the head of the Underground Arena, and Metsudo Katahara, the head of the Kengan Association, begin the competition by explaining the rules. Besides the use of weapons, anything goes within the arena, and the fighter who is left standing is going to be the supreme winner of the entire competition. The two leaders reveal that they have already chosen the fighters that will be facing each other. And with that, the tournament begins. The first match starts and the fighters enter the arena. From the Kengan Association, Saw Pang approaches, a young but incredibly skilled and powerful fighter. From the Underground Arena side, Kaoru Hanayama takes the stage. He is the second in command of a huge company in Japan and is known to be quite the brutal fighter. The two opponents begin their match, and Saw Pang immediately moves in, punching and kicking Kaoru. He lands a few hits before Kaoru throws one single punch and sends Saw Pang flying. Saw Pang gets right back up and is ready to continue. This prompts Kaoru to take off his suit and reveal his sinister-looking tattoo. He gets into a fighting position, prompting Saw Pang to move in once more, but he is kicked away. He moves for a punch again, and the two buff men start relentlessly punching each other, each hit drawing blood from both of them. Saw Pang remembers how his own father once took part in a similar tournament, and he is determined to prove his worth as well. He keeps fighting Kaoru and manages to bring him down. Saw Pang has been training his head for a long time. Over the years, his bones have become as strong as metal, allowing him to withstand heavy onslaughts to his head and body. Kaoru uses a defensive move as Saw Pang continues to punch him, but after a while, Kaoru takes a hold of his hand and grips it so tightly that the flesh tears, and the bloods and muscles become exposed. Saw Pang goes into shock as Kaoru slams him away, causing him to fall down. He gets back up and limps towards his opponent, but Kaoru is only waiting to punch him again. However, this time, before the punch lands, Saw Pang breaks Kaoru's hand, his bones crushing. Unfazed by the injury, Kaoru simply rearranges his hand and repeatedly punches Saw Pang until his opponent is sent flying away again. Saw Pang gets up one last time to fight, but one more punch and he falls for good. The fight ends and Karu is determined the victor, as Saw Pang is taken away on a gurney. Ohma is amongst the spectators as well, and as he talks about the match with his group, he notices Baki standing on the other side and only gives a small nod. The next match begins and everyone takes their seat once more as the announcer introduces the fighters. From the underground arena, Jack Hammer approaches, an incredibly powerful man who has dedicated his entire life to gaining strength. He has endured countless procedures, pills, and injections to turn himself into a power machine. From the Kengan Association, a fighter hailing from a clan of highly trained assassins takes the arena. His name is Ryan Kure, and he looks bloodthirsty. The two of them face each other, and immediately the atmosphere in the arena changes. It feels colder. The two men start throwing punches, striking each other all over the place, until Ryan manages to push Jack away. For him, Jack is the perfect opponent, because he looks down on people like him. Ryan was informed that Jack used artificial means to amp up his body and strength. This makes Ryan despise him. He vowed to bring down Jack Hammer for thinking he can become a strong fighter through artificial means. Ryan stands over Jack, and for a moment it looks like the fight may end there, but Jack punches him back and sends him flying. Jack Hammer continues to punch Ryan like a rag doll until he is left slammed on the ground. For Jack, Ryan is the perfect opponent as well, because he was informed that Ryan is from a clan where strong fighters are created through selective breeding. This means that Jack's artificial strength is perfect for Ryan's innate strength, and only a fight between the two can determine who is the strongest. Ryan gets back up and he is enraged. He uses a power known as removal, which allows him to remove any restrictions from his body and use his strength to its full potential. He runs towards Jack fully amped up and slams the man down, repeatedly smashing and punching his face. Jack, on the other hand, has swallowed some pills which also allow him strength. He gets right back up and vomits a strange glowy liquid. His muscles start to deflate, and he seems to have gained more mobility. Everyone watches on, and it becomes clear that this match can only result in death since both of the opponents are insane. Ryan and Jack begin to throw another barrage of punches at each other. The speed and power makes everyone in the arena watch in amazement. But Ryan is gaining an upper hand. He has Jack in chokehold and does not let go, even though the fight is getting too dangerous and everyone is asking them to stop. For a second, Jack falls unconscious, but he gets right back up, even on the brink of death. The two of them are determined to end each other. All of a sudden, the match is interrupted by a raged-up Pickle, a fighter who has a rivalry with Jack. He sensed that Jack was weakened and immediately appeared at the fight, ready to take him down. Now things are out of control, and someone has to step in. Just as Ryan is about to take a step, Baki, Ohma, and other fighters enter the arena, subduing everyone. Ohma calms down Pickle, while an enraged Ryan vows to kill Baki as he is dragged away. The fight ends without a clear victor. After that intense battle, everyone takes a small break, but their minds are still occupied by the insanity of the match. The last match of the competition is about to begin, and this one is between Baki and Ohma. This particular match is bound to be an exciting one, as everyone knows that Baki and Ohma have only ever focused on one thing their entire lives, and that is training how to fight. Both of them have dedicated their lives to gaining strength and power, and have known nothing else. The match begins as the announcer first introduces Baki Hanma from the underground arena. He is currently the long-standing champion of the arena, and has dedicated his life to fighting. From the Kengan Association, Ohma Tokita is introduced. Similar to Baki, he has dedicated his life to immense power, and has honed his skills and abilities to take down any opponent he faces. The match begins, and for a moment everyone holds their breath as Baki and Ohma stare at each other intently, waiting for the other to make a move. Ohma decides to take the initiative and moves in, but in a split second, he is subdued. No one even sees anything, but Ohma finds himself on the ground. The crowd is stunned at the speed, But as Ohma gets back up, another kick comes flying at him with immense speed. However, Ohma uses his Nico technique to harden his muscles on impact, causing Baki to back away in pain. Now the fight has truly started, as Ohma begins his heavy onslaught towards Baki, who blocks off most of the attacks. Ohma feels like he has the upper hand as he uses his technique to keep his body hardened, but then Baki punches him in the gut, which sends his opponent flying. Baki uses a technique which allows him to concentrate all of his weight and force in his fist, letting him pass through even the strongest of barriers. Ohma is pushed down by the force, but gets right back up. Both Baki and Ohma know that they are equally matched, and this makes the fight even more fun. Ohma moves in for another hit and counters Baki's technique, which pushes him back. Baki falters as he rages towards Ohma, and the two of them are now going toe-to-toe, throwing punches at each other left and right. It looks like the match may never have an end, as the boys are completely matched, but Baki pulls out a new move. He uses his arms like a whip, forcing all of the energy of his body to be used as a single strike. This instantly brings down Ohma as he seethes in pain, but he doesn't stop. He counters Baki and manages to avoid his next attack. But all of a sudden, Baki goes in a strange trance and unleashes a powerful move. He lunges towards Ohma with full force, pushing him back. Baki uses Ohma's own move against him and punches his opponent down. This causes Ohma to unleash his own strength. This technique allows Ohma to accelerate the flow of blood within his body and convert body heat into powerful attacks. He almost looks like a possessed demon as he moves towards Baki. This is quite the intense and decisive moment, as both Baki and Ohma relentlessly fight each other with raw power, which results in both of them collapsing to the ground. As the crowd watches on with bated breath, Baki and Ohma look like they have reached their end, but something strange occurs. An ominous feeling envelops the entire arena, and everyone cowers in fear as the presence of something terrifying can be sensed. All of a sudden, Baki's father, Yujiro, appears in the arena. He senses that things are starting to get exciting and wants to join in. But Baki is clearly not okay with this and refuses. He does not want his dad to intervene in a moment where Baki could achieve greatness. Even Ohma tells Baki's dad to leave, but their conversation is interrupted by another great presence showing up. Kuroki Gensai also arrives at the arena. He wants to fight Yujiro right then and there, but both of them are stopped by Baki and Ohma, since this was supposed to be their match. Before things can escalate, Mitsunari and Metsudo stop them all. They reprimand Gensai and Yujiro for spoiling the event and promise that a match between the two will be held in the future. The match ends with a draw as neither Baki nor Ohma can continue in their current state. And just like that, the tournament ends. However, with no clear victories, the tournament is bound to take place again in the future, and then Baki and Ohma will be given a chance to face each other once more. Well, that's a wrap for Baki Hanma vs. Kengan Ashura. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more content.